Hello, all. My name is Andrea. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just an ex-painter and sometimes storyboard artist who happens to have a pretty big affinity for Dragon Ball. When I finished reading chapter 77, I was like, yay, I can just go back online and I can go on my online Dragon Ball communities and see what everybody thought about it and make some comments. And so the first thing I did when I finished reading was to go on Facebook, and then the first thing I see in my feed is that Chris Ayres, voice of Frieza, had died, and it was just a slow, steady sadness from there. From the moment I read the news, for the remainder of the day, that I just felt continually more down, and it was. Oh, I really enjoyed his voice acting, and he was my favorite Frieza, and I will miss him. So we are at chapter 77, and as I anticipated, we have a lot of flashbacks to deal with here. And here is when the invading Saiyans make planet fall and all hell breaks loose, along with Frieza's other goons. Manito is entrusted with the Dragon Balls by the Elder, and he is the last surviving Namekian on the planet, and he is now the guardian of the Dragon Balls. That fellow on the top of that spire immediately caught my eye. That dude in the background. I was like, wow, that is a one dashing looking fellow there. Who's that guy looking like the kingest of all Kongs? And he turns his head and oh my gosh, it's Bardock. Finally, we're going to get to the root of all this and why he spared them. He's just intent on tracking this kid down. He is not being pleasant right now. Sticks his big ugly mug in there and poor little Granola passes right out in absolute terror, as one would. So Flake, it looks like Flake to me, aims for the moon, takes it out, and all the Saiyans shrink back to normal. And this one Nappa looking dude says, sorry pal, but we're plenty strong even without our great ape forms. And he easily takes out Flake. Flake has flaked out. And there is how Leek got his head scar. And I must say, Leek is the smoothest headed Saiyan I've ever seen apart from Nappa. Must be a Dapper Dan man. And then we have that moment where Bardock confronts. Bardock striking the hero pose. So Granola's mom takes aim, blasts him, grazes his shoulder. We have a funny little cutscene of the panels where Granola's mom and his wife are they're in a similar pose, and he's suddenly having flashbacks, and he apparently sees a lot of his wife in her, and that stays his hand. He has a memory of finally seeing his son. I don't know why Bardock seems to be more moved over Goku upon seeing him, because even Gain is like, what's wrong now? You've seen a baby before. But anyway, he gives him a name. Gain is happy. And then we're back to the present, the past. There's flashbacks within flashbacks here. It's an Inception chapter. So he's got his tough face on, but he can't bring himself to kill her. He decides to spare her, and he claims that there are no more survivors. So he leaves her alone. He goes to scope out where he's getting this power reading, and he finds Manito. So he blocks Manito's attack, and Manito sees he's actually has a couple of Cerealians with him, Granola and his mother, Muesli. As to why he decided to save me, he simply says, I felt like it, that's all. Bardock's done his good deed for the day. I want to say I love that the way they Toyotar did that with the panels, sort of a fade out with the panels. Start wide and they get increasingly more narrow as we drift back into present day. So Granola is, again, shocked that he was saved by a Saiyan of all things, saved by Bardock. And Vegeta clarifies that Bardock was, in fact, Goku's father. So, okay, Manito says, that explains it. That's why he looks so much like him. Vegeta says, in any case, your soft-hearted nature clearly runs in the family. Some people weren't too happy about that. People like the hard-ass Bardock, the Bardock that's like all the other Saiyans, a brute and a killer and no morals. I don't have a problem with this Bardock. I think we could have deeper aspects of any of the characters. I mean, he is still all that. He just saw a bit of his own family in Granola and Muesli, and decided I'm just going to leave him be, and just had a moment of conscience, and I think that's believable. One thing I don't get is all this stuff, all this talk about Bardock being a baby daddy, that he's having some fling with Muesli or something. This has been going on since before I even began reading this particular arc. I remember seeing some artwork around of Granola, just some talk about, like, was he related to King Vegeta or something? Is he Vegeta's half brother? What the? I was like, I'm not going to read anymore. I don't want to give anything away. So I finished reading the Moro arc, and I got to it, and it was just that very first chapter of the Granola arc, and by the end of it, I was like, where did people come up with that? Like, where did anybody? Does it even remotely suggest that Granola was half Saiyan? And people are still hanging on to that when they see Bart. They go, "Oh, he must have had a flame with Muesli." It's like, what? How? How are you getting that? So Granola asks, "Hang on, what about my mother?" Like, well, about that. That's just kind of a funny panel placement to me. There's some that are like, why the heck didn't Manito tell Granola to begin with that it wasn't the Saiyans that killed his mother? Think about it. Back in chapter 69, Manito knows that Granola does these odd jobs. He knows he works for the Heaters. He knows the Heaters are stronger than him. He knows that Elik, the leader of the Heaters, killed his mom. He's not going to tell him the truth because he's going to go and get himself killed because he's a hot-headed fool. He knows he's going to be bent on revenge, so he keeps that from him to keep him safe. But then Frieza is brought back to life, and Manito's like, "Oh, you don't say. Nuts!" Because now, oh great, now he's going to be going after Frieza, and kid, you're not going to beat Frieza. And things get steadily worse from there for Manito. He's got caught in his web of lies in an effort to protect this guy. And he even laments that fact after Granola swipes the Dragon Balls and makes the wish to be the most powerful in the universe. And he says, I've upended his life again. And that's left up for the readers. Oh, what do you mean? But I know it's been a few chapters in, so I had to go back and review that because I'd forgotten about that. But I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't tell him. The object of his revenge were gone. They were dead. Frieza was dead. The Saiyans were gone, so far as Manito knew. So let him believe that. Let him believe they did it because he couldn't go after them anyway. They're gone. Manito explains why his mother didn't survive. What the heck happened? So they're hunkered down, keeping a low profile. Bardock's actually hanging out with them. And then he detects the Heaters. And he finds out that the Heaters are plotting to betray Frieza. Granola comes to, and he sees they're with the Saiyan, and he completely freaks out, blows their cover, and the poor kid gets knocked out again. So now Bardock's in a tight spot, and he tells Manito, quick, give me your cloak. I don't know why this is necessary. Sure, it looks cool. Scarred guy, mysterious looking, he's got the cloak, he's got the hood. Strikes quite the figure. I don't see how that, I mean, does it matter if they know he's a Saiyan or not? I don't think so. He even says, oh, one of Frieza's men. And so he's not hiding anything. If it was one of Frieza's men and what species he was, it shouldn't matter to them. So, just the cloak is for cool points, I guess. Elik tells him to get on with it. Kill the two survivors then. That's what you're here for, right? Bardock's try to buy some time. But then Elik up and straight up shoots Granola's mom. I don't know why I bothered using a pistol. Some people were marked on that. Bardock flips up and he attacks the Heaters. Gas throws up a force field. Bardock attacks hit. And in all of that, he absconds with Granola, Manito, and Muesli. Muesli's dying. Manito tries to save her using his healing powers, but he doesn't have enough in order to save her. Gas goes to hunt him down. We fade back out to the present day again. Gas is reflecting on that. They're back on planet Cereal. Ever went down, Bardock beat Gas. Gas is supposed to be really powerful. I kind of find it hard to believe that Bardock could have beat him, but it's been 40 years. Maybe he's learned a thing or two. That happens. Gas says, I have grown strong, and Elik says, you sure have, but it never hurts to have insurance. So they're going to get the one remaining Dragon Ball, and they're going to make their wish, see what it is, perhaps to make Gas the strongest in the universe. So that's chapter 77. We'll see what happens in chapter 78. Please leave your comments below about the video and about the chapter, any other details you may have picked up on and things you'd like to discuss. And thanks for watching.